Are you ready to have some nightmares? Today we have Bigfoot, UFOs, killer clowns, and more. I promise phobias, and I never break my promises. Especially not to the internet. Question for you, what kind of videos scare you the most? Let me know in the comments and let's unleash some horrors. Let's start off today with a cryptid and work our way up to the big guys. So a YouTuber uploaded a video that was apparently filmed on September 26th or 27th of 2013 in the woods around Montreal, Quebec, Canada. In the video, an unidentified man films himself walking through the forest at night. Now, we're not sure why he does that, and also, the original video has since been taken down, which might have had context. I'm pretty sure he's looking for something. Now it's just part of these compilations. Eventually, he comes upon something that frightens him, and after exclaiming, "Oh!" can't say that word, "Oh God," he immediately turns and begins running in the other direction. Given how dark the footage is, it's not entirely clear what he saw until you slow down the video and you zoom in. Further ahead on the trail, something appears to peek out briefly from a tree before returning to its original position behind said tree. The creature does not appear to be any type of known animal. Rather, it's pale, fish-faced, and with seemingly large eyes. It looks almost like a gray alien type. Look, this video is the real deal, and also if you think about it, it's got a very authentic feel to it. The reaction upon seeing the creature, like, this guy's genuinely startled. He's not rehearsed. I can tell I'm an actor. Now, one of my first thoughts when I saw this footage was like, oh, this cryptid, it's a hide-behind, seeing as it ducks really fast. It's a nocturnal critter from American folklore that preys upon humans that wander the woods. It was blamed for the disappearances of early loggers when they failed to return to camp, and as the name suggests, it's able to conceal itself. When you look directly at it, it hides, ducks away. Look, it makes sense to me. You let me know in the comments what you think. As promised, it's UFO time. Alright, I'll be the first to admit we don't know as much about this footage as some of the other entries today, so bear with me. I found this video on Reddit, and while the site does tend to be the Wild West for finding credible information, I think my nonsense filter is pretty decent. So a while ago, user CuriousAD5774 said, "Don't got much to say about this video, other than when my dad originally sent it to me, I felt like it had to be a UFO and there's nothing else that seemed to explain it." Now, Canada is notorious for sightings. I've seen a couple of them, and look, this video was taken way before drones were being used regularly. He thinks it's about 10 years old. So let's break down the video together, shall we? While watching the video, you can see a number of different orbs in a dark sky, and the way they move cannot be explained by science. Now, another commenter, Death Perception, has an idea of what it could be. He's like, yeah, this is pretty good footage, it's dark, it's an old video, but if we're all assuming it's real, pretty sure it is, then it's clearly the typical black triangle that's been seen since at least the 90s. Now somebody else, only capital 5393, was able to relate to the footage, saying it was exactly what their brother and mother described back in the 90s. They were driving in New Hampshire in the wee hours of the morning, going south, and this UFO came and followed them for a while on the highway. There was nobody else around, and it was just like hanging out. Whee! Here we go. The lights are exactly what they described though, how they kind of spin in a circle around the center light. And the commenter had never seen anything like they described until that moment. Now, he would have loved to have sent it to the mother and brother, but sadly they passed away. And if we want to talk about how credible the mom was as a witness, she was an Air Force flight nurse during Vietnam. If she hadn't seen it, come on. She had heard rumors about UFOs being real, by the way, and that made her pretty interested in the subject. She actually became like a UFOologist. She joined a lot of organizations, and at one meeting, she sat at the same table with Betty Hill. Time to fulfill another promise, and that's evidence of Bigfoot. Paul Freeman claims that while working as a watershed patroller for the US Forest Service back in 1982, he encountered a Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, near Walla Walla, Washington. Now, him being a whistleblower and talking about knowing about Bigfoot brought him a lot of criticism and disrupted his family's life, causing him to quit the job and relocate. But he returned to the area in 1984 and devoted the rest of his life to a search for evidence. He collected hair, photographs, and a wide variety of casts of footprints and other body parts. Now in 1992, he followed a series of tracks near Deduct Creek and got a close-up video. I'm also pretty sure some of the footage is from 1994, which was when he captured video near the Blue Mountains region of northeastern Oregon. Now the recordings are considered authentic by quite a few Bigfoot investigators, but sadly for us, a lot of the resolution is too low to be considered conclusive. But I'm pretty sure these videos hold credibility. Could they have been hoaxed? Sure, but I have too many doubts for it to be a fake. And also, the videos offer the possibility that these creatures have supernatural abilities. Now, if you're asking, yo Alexa, who's this Paul Freeman guy? And like, why do you think these videos are so credible? Allow me. He was an American Bigfoot hunter, and he discovered a lot of tracks showing dermal ridges. And the plaster casts he made were convincing enough to be considered critical pieces of evidence by anthropologists. Now, if we're talking about which anthropologists, Jeff Meldrum of Idaho State University and Grover Krantz of Washington State University, they put a lot of time and resources into studying them. And it's hard to get resources to study things that aren't credible. Now, sadly, Paul passed away in 2003, but he was adamant until the day he died that what he saw was real proof that Bigfoot is out there. On Saturday, March 11th of last year, William Church, a professional truck driver who regularly drove on Arizona State Route 87, noticed a bright glare in his dash cam, and he thinks the flashing figure is a ghost. Now, he's described himself as someone who has seen a lot of weird stuff during his travels, but he's been able to make sense or explain away everything, except for this video. The specter was spotted at around 2:30 in the morning while William drove past the highway's 200-mile marker, which is located between Phoenix and Payson, Arizona. And since it was that very ungodly hour, there was nobody on the road. And he captured something weird on his Nextcar dash cam, which I guess is a leading dash cam brand. And thankfully, we've got the footage. Granted, it's only 6 seconds long, so pay attention now. And now that we're back, I shall continue. He is positive the translucent figure y'all just saw looks like a person standing in the roadway, saying like he can see the lines through the legs that make up the figure. So if we want to give a little context on the area, Arizona State Route 87 is a north to south highway that was constructed in 1927 and measures approximately 272.66 miles. The north end travels to State Route 264 near Second Mesa, a census designated place in Arizona, while the south end travels to Interstate 10 near Picacho, an unincorporated community and another census designated place. Now, a lot of fatal accidents have happened on this 96-year-old highway, which has reportedly led some locals to believe that the road could be haunted. Look, a recent fatal car crash happened on State 87 near milepost 201 in February of last year, and last I checked, the exact cause of the crash is unknown. The two-person collision resulted in the death of one person near Bush Highway, which is east of Fountain Hills, and Valley Chevy dealers in Phoenix named State Route 87 one of Arizona's most dangerous roads. So, if you watch this video that we're talking about today, yeah, there's a lot of supernatural activity on these highways. Because why? Well, people die, spirits don't move on. And look, I'm speaking as somebody who drives, has a license. I don't want to see any ghosts when I'm driving tonight. No thank you. And how about we end today with some 2016 killer clown footage. Now, I'm friends with a lot of creepy clowns. I've been one myself. But 2016 was a rough year to be a clown. The 2016 clown sighting incidents were reported in the United States, Canada, Australia, and a lot of other countries and territories in August of that year. They were first reported in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in what turned out to be a marketing stunt for a horror film, but the phenomenon later spread to many other cities in the US. And by mid-October, clown sightings and attacks have been reported in nearly all of the US states, 9 out of 13 provinces and territories of Canada, and 18 other countries. Alright. Watch the video now before I start fuming over clown rights, and we can break it down after. So this footage shows the masked monster emerging from a motorway underpass and standing in the middle of the road, waving very creepily at the stopped car. Now when the figure starts walking towards the vehicle, the male driver tries to reverse away, but then the crazed clown makes a sudden dash towards the family in the car. And these guys were just trying to come home from like a nice dinner out. After backing up far enough, the panicked driver puts his foot down and speeds towards the clown, who jumps out of the road a split second before being mowed down by the car. Now, the driver who put his foot down and sped towards the clown, it's terrifying. In the original Facebook post, the wife of the driver wrote that the incident took place at Grange Mill Lane, and they were confronted by this person coming out from the underpath tunnel and charging at them. I don't know what to make of it. Like, as much as I love a good killer clown, such as one of my besties, Buttons, there's a reason they only exist in controlled fictional situations. And like this, if I ever saw a killer clown when I'm driving, absolutely not. And that's it for me once again, folks. I've been Alexa, your resident ooky spooky girly. And if you enjoyed my ramblings today, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more found footage goodies from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you lovely spooky people.